Can we talk about seeds again for just a minute? Can you hang with me on this one just for a minute? If you bought one, let's say, no, let's say you either bought or grew three Hubbard squash. I don't know if you've seen a Hubbard squash before. I was pretty old by the time I'd never seen one. They're about the size of a beach ball, small beach ball, not the big beach ball, bigger than a basketball in most cases. And I think the flesh is similar to like a butternut or a buttercup squash. I've had it before, but it was a little bit processed. Let's say you either grew or bought like three Hubbard squash, and the cavity inside of the squash I think is about the size of a softball, but I could be wrong. Smaller than a bowling ball. I think the cavity in it is, about yay big. So the inside of the cavity looks similar to other winter squash. If you took the seeds out of a Hubbard squash, I have no idea how many would be in there, but more than 10 or 12 or 15, I'm certain of that. Probably more than 25 or 30 maybe. I don't really, a lot, quite a few. Like inside the seeds inside of cantaloupe, try to count those. So if you had these seeds and you did nothing more than put them in a Ziploc bag and toss them in your freezer, you have great power in that one bag. If you took the seeds from three squash, but they'd have to be raw. You don't want to do it after it's cooked. If you somehow get that squash open or break it or whatever before it's cooked, I haven't done Hubbard squash myself. I'm going to, but I haven't done it myself. I've done winter squash before. So you save the seeds when they're raw and you did nothing more than throw them into the freezer. You have great power there, because things became if there was a real food shortage or people were really interested in getting all the food they could get their hands on, the amount of nutritious, tasty food that would produce, if you just had the ground to put it in, the room to grow it, would be thousands of pounds of squash. I could almost say with total certainty, thousands of pounds of squash from if you took the seeds from three of those squash. Might be more than you would ever dream. I would have to sit down and try to do the math, which would be futile. You could only come up with the bare minimum. The range would be insane, from the smallest to the largest. I kind of run numbers by habit, but so I just want to talk about seeds for a second. I'll get off the Hubbard squash here. I just wanted to use the extreme example. The power that's in a bag of seeds is just unbelievable, the potential there. So if you did that with 4 or 5 different items, even if it was a hybrid seed, if my understanding is correct, it's going to still produce a squash. If it's not an open pollinated non-hybrid seed, it's still going to produce a squash. It just might not be the same qualities or characteristics as the mother squash that it came from, the mother plant. So if you did that with cantaloupe and you did it with a few other similar kinds of things, winter squashes or green peppers, or you have to let the pepper, I believe a green pepper seed needs, I believe with the green peppers you'd have to let the pepper turn red and get completely mature, but I could be wrong there. For the seed to be mature, but I could be totally wrong with that. Somebody could correct me, that would be good. So if you had the potential of just those few little bags of seeds in your freezer, that would be magnificent. And then if you ordered seeds from a catalog and you were able to get, I think a non-hybrid is called open pollinated. I'm pretty sure that that's correct. Somebody correct me if it's not. I think an open pollinated seed is the opposite of a hybrid seed. Open pollinated is like heritage types, or what do you call those? It's not heritage. What's it called? Heirloom. Starts with an H. Heirloom type seeds. Not exactly the same thing, but same idea. So you can buy your seeds from a reliable supplier. You can scoop them out before you cook the squash, or you can grow your own from your own garden and keep them. But just the potential that's there, it always gave me a lot of comfort. I don't have them in my freezer right now. My freezer died and my seeds are gone. Those kinds of seeds are gone. But it gave me a great deal of comfort to have cantaloupe seeds in there. And I had cantaloupe and squash and some others. And it's becoming quite savvy to get seeds because I was listening to a radio talk show host today and they were advertising a place that you could buy seeds and talking about why you'd want to have them. So if 20 times as many people start ordering seeds, that could cause the seed supply to dwindle. I'm hoping that we don't see that. But you might want to get your hands on a few little garden seeds. They got them in the variety stores right now. We have a local small department store in town that I was able to get quite a few seeds for $3 for $1, and sometimes they're 10 for $1. So pick some up and just, stick them on your shelf if you're going to garden or not garden. They'll still grow next year. God bless. I'm done talking about seeds. Thanks.